application process, do people become eligible for benefits such as Medicaid, SNAP, and other means of support such as that?
The individuals that are arriving under our program do have that status available upon entry, or or once they're approved their asylum status.
Okay.
So they
interject really quick.
Okay.
So to really flesh out her question, if you come in as a refugee, Office of Refugee Resettlement gets grants, and the federal government will allow those refugees who've already been designated and processed outside the United States to obtain Medicaid for their health care and cash assistance sometimes, and food stamps, but for a limited time. So while they're doing Debbie's program at Catholic Charities or Lutheran Services or Church World Services or whatever the organization is, the time that they give is maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months. You could possibly ask an extension, or if you happen to be an individual with a disability or additional needs, then you can apply for Social Security Supplemental Income, SSI, for an extended period of time. But if you're not a citizen, they cut you off in about 5 years. So you're encouraged to apply to get your English literacy and to get your ability to take the civics test. But also, if you're a person with a disability, because I also serve the disability community, then that becomes a roadblock for you, because not only is your civic comprehension, but your literacy skills. And if you have a developmental disability, or if you're an older individual, or just an individual who had maybe a traumatic brain injury, or a stroke, or you have a seizure disorder, then that becomes complicated, but you are eligible to apply still with a medical waiver, and that's where I and other individuals, probably Catholic Charities, can assist with that. But to go back to the root question, you can get government assistance if you're a refugee for a limited time, and also if you're an asylee, that means you're already here, and then you're asking the government to recognize you as a refugee, but you're inside, so it's called asylum then. You can also apply for benefits, but again, for a limited time. Other individuals, because of the public charge edict, if you want to call it, that has gone out, that is still in abeyance because of the court intervention, what the Trump administration is trying to do is to say that individuals who even apply for benefits should not be eligible, because we don't want them taking from being a public charger from the public welfare. So everybody essentially should be self-sufficient. But if you're disabled, or if you're of a mature age and you've suffered a traumatic brain injury, or a client that I had who happened to be Russian, and she was held up at gunpoint, suffered PTSD from that, and English was not her primary language, presented difficulty when it's doing her citizenship. But you can get government benefits, but for a limited period.
Okay.
Can I just complete something real quickly? I have a news flash, and a lot of people are wondering. Undocumented immigrants do not qualify for public benefits. Maybe the children that were born here might qualify for some Medicaid, things like that. But the parents itself, if they are undocumented, they do not. If they apply, they're going to be denied.
Right. I used to work for Social Security and did SSI before I found my other career. Okay, and both Nadine and Deborah have agreed to stay afterwards because we've got so many different things to cover still. On your tables, you should each table have a flyer